Hey guys, hope you're having a great afternoon. This is David with Savvy Organics Farm. What I'm doing this afternoon, I'm out in the greenhouse, and a good friend of mine, his name is John, has brought me a bunch of fig cuttings. So what I'm going to do today is, from those fig cuttings, I'm going to try to start some new fig plants. So I have 16 of these cuttings that I made, keeping up with which one's the bottom. So on here we have at least 3 nodes on each one of these that we're going to plant. I'm going to take a razor knife and I'm going to put some small incisions or slits along the bottom of each one of these to help stimulate the root growth. This technique works with a lot of things that are fairly woody. So just by slitting and cutting the bottom, just some little small narrow cuts with a razor knife will help the roots begin to take shape there. So the other thing I have here, I'll show you in just a second, is I have cinnamon. We have some cinnamon that we use. Cinnamon is a natural root stimulator, so we're going to be planting them using that as our root stimulator. I think I've got 16 of these. I've got 16 little pots ready to go for them. So next I'm going to get all of these pots wet, and then I'll show you how we put them together. Alright, so I'm going to get the soil. This is just a potting soil. It's actually a reclaimed or recycled potting soil. When we have seed starts and other plants that don't germinate or don't come up, then we simply recycle that. We keep some bins in here in the greenhouse. I don't know if you can see these. I've got 2 of them here that have recycled soil that we use from potted plants and seed starts and all kinds of things. Kind of all blended together of different soils, but for starting plants, it works really well. So we're just going to get this all very nice and moist and wet. Let that soak in really well. The way we'll end up watering these, I have them in a 10-20 tray. So we won't water these much from the top anymore, but we'll let these little 4-inch pots soak the water up from the bottom. So we've got the pots watered really well. I'm going to put just a little bit of water in this tray right here. And what I'm going to do is use the water. This is the first one I just put the slits in. Get a little bit of moisture on the bottom of this. And I've got that cinnamon in the bottom of this tray here. I'm going to roll the bottom of this in each one of those. Any way you want to apply it would work just fine. The idea is to get the cinnamon, which is, again, is a natural rooting hormone, onto those little cut areas that I made in there, and then we're going to simply put those in each one of our pots. So pretty simple to do, not hard. We'll do more of these than we need, because when you start new plants from cuttings like this, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Oops, I forgot to cut this one. So we're going to put some slits again in the bottom of this, and that will help get those roots going. Just using a box knife to put those in, get it damp one more time. Get some cinnamon all up on those areas that we cut in the bottom, and it smells good. It's nice cinnamon. So we'll get those in there, and again, just putting them down in there. So we need to keep these nice and moist, nice and wet, and again, watering these from the bottom of the tray. While I finish the rest of these, I will show you, for example, I did the same thing with grapes. This is a Neptune grape that I started the same way. I just took a woody stem off of one of the grape cuttings and did the exact same thing. So you can see this guy beginning to sprout. Won't be long until he's ready to plant outside. So I'm going to get the rest of these done. Alright, so I've got all of these done. I'm just going to tighten the soil up around each one of the plants a little bit. Make sure it has good contact with the soil and water. And we will keep these guys moist by filling up the bottom of the tray, making sure that we have water in the bottom of this tray so that it will soak it up from the bottom and keep the soil nice and moist. So probably 4 or 5 weeks these guys will have some good roots, and hopefully about 6 weeks we'll have we'll have these guys with maybe a few leaf buds on them. So we'll see how that goes. But again, this works really well with a lot of different plants, woody stem plants. If you wanted to take some cuttings off of, and like in this case, doing figs. I showed you the grapes that I've started. I've got a couple of them planted. I only had one left I haven't planted. So I hope you find that tip helpful, and we'll see you again next time on Savvy Organics Farm. Bye-bye.